Hey, Wild fans. Today I'm joined by Iowa Wild head coach Tim Army. Coach, where are you?
I'm in Falmouth, Maine.
And how's the weather there?
The weather has been really, really nice. Getting cold at night. Going to be down in the high 30s this weekend at night.
Oh,
But nice, really nice during the day. We've had lots of sunshine, probably topping off at about 70. We've had some days in the low 60s. Beautiful, beautiful late summer, early fall weather. But starting to get a little bit colder at night. You wake up early in the morning and it's a bit chilly out there. It's sweatpants and a sweatshirt right now, but trees are starting to turn a little bit. The fall in Maine, the autumn in Maine is beautiful. So the weather's been really good.
how you been staying busy?
Joe, there's a lot going on. So we're still preparing. Everything's tentative. The tentative dates of November 17th to start NHL camp and the date of December 1st for our start of NHL games. And then in the American League and the ECHL, the start date being December 4th, all tentative. But that's how we're preparing right now. We're preparing for our season to get underway here in the next couple of months. So lots to do from an organizational standpoint as we get ready to go to camp in St. Paul and for our camp in Des Moines and the start of the regular season. And then, of course, with the great news of Mac and Freddie being added to Dean's staff, and we're so proud of both guys and thrilled. The responsibility in the American Hockey League is that we're producing people for the NHL, and that can be players, it can be coaches, it could be trainers, equipment men, strength coaches. So, as proud of the way that Nico played in games 3 and 4 in the qualifying series, the way that Bart played in game 4. We were so proud of that, watching guys like Luke and Greeny and Eki and Donnie and Seuss and guys that have spent significant time in Des Moines over the last couple of years to see the impact that they've had. We're obviously extremely proud of that, but of course, very, very proud of Mac and Freddie with the opportunity to move to the Big Wild. But now with the Baby Wild, we're in the process of hiring a couple of coaches. So an extensive interview process in respect to hiring a couple of quality coaches, obviously, and quality people to replace both Mac and Freddie. So that's kept us busy. And obviously some time with the season being pushed back, a little bit more time to enjoy a time of year that we never get to enjoy in September and October being home. I think I've told you that Sue and I are expecting our first grandson.
Yes, yes.
Derek and his wife Jenny are expecting their first child, so that's going to be the end of October, and the due date is Sue's birthday, October 28th. So we're gearing up for that. The one thing I have to admit, I'm going to have to work for a long time because the amount of stuff that we're buying for the baby, Sue having access to internet shopping. We're gonna have to keep working for a long time because we're buying lots of stuff for the baby. But we're also excited about that and enjoying some friends on the lake. But yeah, preparing video now for camp in Des Moines. We have a template, a foundation of how we're going to approach things, but want to add some wrinkles to it. So working on that, and then of course with Massa preparing for physicals for guys that won't be in St. Paul. That could be at our camp. Shakey's doing a lot of ordering now for equipment, things that we need, t-shirts, sneakers, the stuff that we need, for in Des Moines. And as I said, interfacing with Tangs and Paulie and the staff, getting ourselves ready to go. So, although a lot of time off from March 11th in Grand Rapids, there's still a great deal to do. You're always have things to do and trying to have ourselves ready for November 17th in St. Paul, but certainly our camp in Des Moines. And then, as I said, spend a little bit more family time. We don't usually get that this time of year, so trying to take advantage and enjoy that as well.
How are you adjusting to the quote unquote new normal?
I guess like everybody else, it just sort of finds its way into your everyday lifestyle. we're fairly active, but smart about what we do. But yeah, we go into restaurants and here in the greater Portland area and shopping and visiting friends, but we wear our mask and we're smart about it and social distancing and those type of things have become a part of our everyday routine. And when I was in St. Paul for phase 2 and phase 3, and then in Edmonton, the bubble, essentially wore a mask for 5 weeks, and I would wear it out for a walk outside, and I got really used to it. Just kind of a part of me. So when I put it on, if I come in when I go to the grocery store and I get in the car, I'll leave it on because I'm used to it. Sue's not as used to it, so she'll take it off. But you just kind of it's just the reality of it. Certainly looking forward to a vaccine at some point and to life getting back to more as we knew it. I don't think our everyday activities will ever be like it was prior to March 11th. But we will get back to normal interactions and what will become more fluidity to our lifestyle. But there will be some changes like everybody else, washing your hands and keeping yourself clean and not rubbing your eyes or putting fingers in your mouth, those type of things, fist bumping or elbow bumping, wearing a mask. It's going to become more of our daily lives. I don't think we would be wearing a mask at some point, but still just becomes a part of it. So there'll be a new way to go about things, but it sure will be nice to get back to some normalcy to our lives. I can't tell you how much I miss going into the rink at Wells Fargo, how much I miss the office, how much I miss preparing for practice, being with the staff, being around the players, the games, the game nights, seeing you, Joe, on a daily basis, and the office and the people in the office, and getting ready for games and seeing our fans and the excitement of a game night. I miss it terribly. There's a huge void in our lives in that sense. You can't lament it. It's the reality right now. We know that someday, at some point, we'll be back in that environment. Can't wait for that to happen. Miss it terribly. You really learn to appreciate what you have because we just love Des Moines. We love where we live. We love the city. We love the people. We love our fans. We love game night, Wells Fargo Arena, the team, and what we've established with the identity of our team over the last 2 years. So it's a big void. Nothing replaces that, but being able to prepare for 2020-21 allows you to feel it. It's tangible, and it's something tangible to us until we actually get there. But certainly miss it and look. And although we've established a bit of a routine, cannot wait for the routine of being back in Des Moines and having our Iowa Wild playing hockey games in front of our great fans at Wells Fargo Arena.
Onto the ice for next year. How do you look to improve? How does what was a record-breaking season in the making last year improve for next year?
One of the things that we will look to do is I think there's some things that we can do in generating more chances and being more active in the guts of the ice. So, we've talked quite a bit over the last couple of years. What we talk about all the time with our team is 5 connected. We're 5 connected on the ice. So whatever particular situation we're in, with or without the puck, everybody is working. Everybody is a piece of that 5 connected. And on a grander scale, it includes our goaltender that's playing and all guys that are dressed on a particular night. So it's 20 guys connected. And a practice day, we got 25 guys on the ice, and we're working on the elements of our style. It's 25 connected. So in respect to one of the things that really would like to do is there's some wrinkles that we would like to add that can allow us to create more space and attack those openings in the offensive zone to get ourselves inside the guts of the ice a little bit more. And by doing that, we'll create more scoring chances and ultimately score more goals because of it. So that was a big emphasis going into the off season. I really like the way that we play in the offensive zone, and there's a lot of things that we really do really well, but there's some things that we can take advantage of a little bit more readily. And so the idea behind it will be this five connected mentality, but a little bit more movement, a little bit more separation, creating more space, but it should allow us to get inside the guts of the ice more. And if we can generate more penetration inside the guts of the ice, then we will generate more scoring chances, and ultimately that should translate to more goals. So, watching the games in the playoffs, having been in the bubble, and being there for the big Wild Series against Vancouver, watching some games there live, and then certainly watching every game at home here. It allows you to kind of look at some things, some teams that other teams are doing that fits a little bit with what we do, but we can add to our approach. And so taking some of that video and can translate that to the things that we think we can utilize to expose, create better puck possession, better separation, more of an ability to attack, create and attack open ice. So that was a big element as we came out of the season, even before when we hit the pause, anticipating that we were coming back for the end of the regular season and the Calder Cup playoffs. There were some things that we wanted to add. So the season was canceled, but now as we prepare for, let's say, November, December start time, that's some of the stuff that working on, and that's the video we're piecing together. And then, like I said, using some things that some teams have been using throughout the playoffs to integrate that to make to kind of highlight it, and then some different things that I like to do from a teaching standpoint. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to sell our secrets, but I think what we can do is utilize practice and integrate some clips from practice into game clips. And the idea behind it is to kind of illustrate to our guys the reason that we work the way that we do in practice, and to kind of show them that transition from practice to a game, and why we're doing it and how it translates to a game environment. I saw a terrific presentation by Todd Reardon at the Global Coaches Clinic, and he integrates practice clips into his game clips. I was very, very impressed by it. It's a terrific teaching element. So we feel as though we can add a little bit more of that, and again, that education process for a player. So thinking about integrating that into our overall approach and how that will translate for us to execute in a game environment, and ultimately you've got to outscore the other team at some point. To win a game, you have to outscore the other team, whether it's a 1-0 game, a 2-1 game like last night, Tampa and the Islanders. It could be 5-4 like Game 7, Colorado, Dallas, but ultimately they'll be able to score more goals. So I'd like to get us to produce more 5-on-5. So entries, offensive zone play, that's going to be a big emphasis when we get back and get up and running. And then integrating some clips from some NHL teams, and then utilizing, we haven't done it in 2 years in practice, but kind of illustrating why we're doing something and how that translates to a game. So those are the things that you're always kind of evaluating and thinking about, and having ourselves ready for camp, and certainly for the regular season. They did the NHL Coaches Association did some presentations in April and early May, and then the Global Coaches Clinic followed in June. I was able to observe all of the presentations, and there's always, from every presentation, you always learn a little something else, one or two different ways of doing things. So that was great too. So just the way to integrate it into our overall approach in Des Moines.
Interesting stuff. Sounds like you got a lot on your plate. Enjoy the Stanley Cup final, and thanks for taking some time out for the Iowa Wild fans today.
No, my pleasure. We miss everyone. Great seeing you, Joe. Glad to hear the kids are back in school. Miss seeing the kids around the rink. Love it when they come and running into the office to say hi. I was exchanging texts with Gabe Dumont the other day and said the same thing. Missed the two boys. Just miss everything about it. But we know that we'll be back at it soon. And Sue and I and our hockey team, we can't wait to get back to Des Moines, see our fans, and get back to playing some hockey games at Wells Fargo Arena. And what we weren't able to do in the spring of 2020, the focus is, and the message that we've sent, and have spoken with a lot of guys. The other thing that I'm doing now is catching up with guys just to kind of catch up late in the off season and kind of have a strategy for training camp and the start of the season. But we can't wait to play some hockey games. And as I said, to have an opportunity, what we weren't able to do in the spring of 2020, to be able to do. Long way to go to get there, but to accomplish what we weren't able to do in 2020 in the spring, or maybe the summer, deep in the summer of 2021. And we can't wait to get back there and see all the great people of Des Moines and all our great Iowa Wild fans. And it's great seeing you again, Joe. I do. I miss you. Your boy's hitting some home runs now. I see that. Harper's playing good baseball. The Yankees are rolling right now. I think it's going to be the deep run for your New York Yankees in this fall. There's no fall classic without the Yankees. They're going to be back there this year.
Well, I'm looking forward to all of what you said, minus the Yankees part, but appreciate the time as always. Thank you very much. I'm sure the fans are all fired up to get back up and running whenever that time does come. Coach Army, thank you again. Wild fans, have a great weekend and stay safe. Keep it real as always. Thanks.
Thank you.